You're listening to the Chartographers.
The Chartographers! It is that music-loving podcast for music-loving people, and guys, we are halfway through our season finale. Third of the way through if you're counting our happy hour mini-sode, which is going to be so happy and so many, but not many at all, macro episode.
It's going to be our, macro episode.
Exactly.
Our largest mini-sode yet.
Yeah, it's so huge, guys. But guys, let me tell you something right here. We are halfway through ranking the discography of Prince, his the purple one, his nastiness, the little red Corvette that could. Guys, it is, I mean, we are into it right now. I would highly recommend, if for some reason you're just like, I want to know what the number one album is, I really recommend you check out the part 1 episode, because, God, we got into it here, and it was me, Evan Sadi, it was co-creator Taran O'Reilly, it was Jon Harvey, our most featured guest of all time. You're kind of the Sheena Easton of the podcast. I want you to know that.
I mean, hopefully one day I can become the Sheila E. and the thing that keeps this train rolling.
Exactly. Well, keep talking about your sugar walls. You're going to get there. So, guys, we are here. Prince likes vaginas. I don't know if you know this. Yeah, we didn't even talk about Apollonia's solo career. Can you believe that?
Wait, she had a solo career?
They actually tried to do songs, but that album never came together.
Yeah.
Then the album did, though. He's so dumb. More stuff on the Happy Hour
Wait,
Mini
no,
Sode.
that's the Vanity 6 album.
Yeah, I meant that Vanity 6.
Yeah, and Apollonia 6 had an album.
Yeah.
Yeah, but which one has Scarlet Pussy?
Oh my God! Can we talk?
I think actually Vanity 6. Vanity 6 has Scarlet Pussy.
Sneak preview of the Happy Hour Mini, so we're going to talk about that song he wrote where a dog and a cat fuck. But hey, listen, we're going to get there. It's going to happen. In the meantime, though, we are ranking his albums from worst to best. They were in Prince in the 80s. We're focusing on a very specific era from 1978 to 1990 because it covers a lot, and we're going to get into it. 6 of the 12 albums that we have already ranked, already done. We're not mentioning them because we want you to listen to part 1. Instead, let me tell you what's left. We have 1979's self-titled effort. We have 1980's Dirty Mind. We have 1981's Controversy. We have 1982's 1999. Oh, it's such a weird thing to say. We have 1984's Purple Rain and 1987's Sign of the Times. So, guys, we are at number 6. And, you know, here's the thing. I'm going to nominate something for our number 6 slot. I think it may surprise some. I don't think it will when you really think about it. But guys, number 6, my pick, Controversy. Heavy sighs from the audience. Yes?
No.
Okay.
No, and I see, I get where you're coming from, except that Controversy, the title track, is like
it's God level.
It is God level, and it's one of the best extended funk jams he's ever done.
It carries so many of all the iconic elements, even like that weird talk thing that he does. Like, people call me rude. I wish we all were nude. I wish there was no black or white. It's just
exactly.
And it just like at no point does it ever get stale, and it just keeps you engaged and bopping for 7 minutes.
Oh yeah, no,
and
that song is, I would say, an underrated masterpiece in every possible way.
And then like Sexuality maybe, but Do Me Baby track 3 is like, again, like I think that's like peak sex jam Prince.
Which
for
one?
me. Do Me Baby.
I do really love Do Me Baby.
Do Me Baby.
But here's the other thing, though, is that, listen, I know we're talking about an album that some would consider good, but God, there is some shit on this album, and I don't mean like there's bad songs. There are really.
Which one are we going for? I can go for Ronnie Talk to. I mean, I will give you also Ronnie Talk to.
Life in taxi cabs.
Ronnie Talk to Russia is also not a good one.
Yeah, but
Ronnie Talk to Russia.
Right. I mean, yeah, no, it's garbage, but it's also
but
less
then
than 2
Private
minutes long.
Joy is.
I like Private Joy. I do.
Private Joy.
Jack You Off is kind of like, he's like a carryover
Jack You Off is amazing.
No. Jack You Off. Okay, so
also, like, you want to talk about it? Right, sorry, continue.
Fun fact: I first heard Robin's cover of this song
The Rockamoni.
as as like, and it's also a like hidden track on her self-titled 2007 album. And so, but then when I first heard the Prince version with the full band and like harmonies, I like it kind of blew my mind a little bit. And so I think that's one of my favorite Prince songs, not because it's incredible, but just because it does exactly what it sets out to do. It's inflammatory. It's
more
like
controversial
it's kind of
anything
it's
else.
still kind of sexy anyway though, and it's so like rockabilly.
I like that because that was the last song that I feel like he made that was intentionally trolling audiences, which is one of I'll get into a lot with Dirty Mind because I fucking love Dirty Mind. But which I think we may actually, which may segue into Dirty Mind, because it's really hard to talk about controversy.
Well, controversy is like a sequel to Dirty Mind.
And so much of the context,
it's a holding pattern.
and the context of controversy is so much a result of Dirty Mind. So like,
Dirty Mind, for the record, for those who don't know, he had hits off of For You, and especially Prince, the album, but Dirty Mind is what launched him. Dirty Mind was the shocker.
So like, so what's up with like, so controversy? Like he releases Dirty Mind, and Dirty Mind is like his breakout album. Like
Critics really pay attention.
He had like Prince and For You were successful and had good singles. I Want to Be Your Lover was still a big hit, but none of them went number one until Dirty Mind, which is like okay.
He's really excited about Dirty Mind, you guys.
So basically he breaks out with Dirty Mind, and then like I feel like then it's also the American public is now studying Prince, like who is this guy dancing in his underwear and singing about incest and oral sex, and it's like, and so like then controversy, like the lead single is like a response to like people calling him out, like what are you, what is this, and so like controversy, like am I black or white, am I straight or gay, and it's like that is kind of,
do I believe in God, do I believe in me?
Yeah. And it's like, it's so much of what he's talking about feels like responding to what people are trying to guess he is, while simultaneously diverting that and still never letting you figure that what it is. He's like opens up the conversation, and then he, like in typical Prince fashion, he steers it away into something else.
I honestly for whatever reason, my mind is going here. Just roll with me on it. It reminds me of, remember when Eminem came out with the Marshall Mathers LP, this like diamond-selling, like controversial, and someone even called groundbreaking rap album that caused all these fires. And then the next album he put out was called Encore, which did the exact same thing. It was more talking about the controversy he caused, and kind of like framing the conversation to a degree, which is great, which is fine, but it will never be as thrilling as when you're causing the controversy, as when you're doing that straight up. So as such, like, there's that's the thing about it. Weird how musically controversy, aside from its weird fucking experiments and fucking anti-Christian, it very musically is, again, it's a holding pattern, which Prince doesn't do a whole lot of. Like, you can make the argument Batman is kind of a holding pattern against Love Sexy, but like every album is usually different. It has
and also, hear me out, you're talking about these templates.
Yeah.
Dirty Mind, that drum beat, pretty much follows, pretty similar to the controversy one. He kind of carries it over. I'm trying to think. Head, which one? Like a DMSR, pretty similar to Head. You kind of like, but like it's kind of certain break. Whereas like later he would definitely figure out how to work with that template better. Yeah. Like controversy is still kind of, he's like, oh, I solved the template, now let's study the template.
Right, and I feel like 1999, it just like the clarity and confidence of which that A-side is just feels so far removed from what controversy does. Because it's weird though, after being in the studio and really polishing himself for his debut with Prince, and then especially on Dirty Mind, he gets grittier, he gets looser, he gets more analog, baby. He gets like just kind of lets himself, and even like if you look at the cover of Dirty Mind, he's like in a fucking thong with his long hair and a jacket and bare chest, and then he's got kind of this diamond little pattern behind him kind of thing,
it's the springs of a bed.
Yeah! It's the springs of a fucking bed, and that's the thing. Dirty Mind sounds more like a bedroom pop album than it does like anything else. Like, it's so gritty and basic, and like all the flourishes from For You are gone. It's like he found like some realism to it.
I mean, that's pretty accurate. I mean, even those flourishes from For You, I feel like Prince is just like, the self-titled is just like a maturation of For You. Certainly he gets a lot more into the rock and the screaming and what we will know as Prince coming forward. But I think then Dirty Mind was that was his first big reinvention. And I think that it has some of his like most incredible moments.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that "Party Up" is one of the best
Party up.
closers.
Get to
Again,
party up.
it's not like a brilliant or even.
It's not nothing groundbreaking, but people like in terms of like
does it exactly right.
But people like really like want to like sometimes like, or at least critics want to underplay like, oh, like is it influential? Does it try something new? And the effort, and when doing that, sometimes it just downplays how powerful just an amazing collection of songs is.
Right, exactly.
And how puts it like it's. I still like, and even like looking back, I think it's kind of revered a little bit higher, even more than something as experimental as 1999, because it's just deep down, despite we want to talk about cultural importance, people just want a fucking good album. They just want.
Yeah,
but the other thing
and that's
too,
what Dirty Mind is.
On top of it, I feel like the other thing is that if you listen to the synth line of, say, Uptown, Uptown, like, you hear that sounds like it would belong on For You, that exact synth line.
Mm-hmm.
But why doesn't the song sound like it belongs on For You? And the reason is because Dirty Mind, and I would even argue with self-titled Prince, he really starts discovering his personality. He really starts discovering what he as a songwriter wants to do. Because then, like, you hear, like, when he talks about, Uptown isn't just a song about going uptown. It's for him an idealistic place, an escape where everyone can dance and party and have fun, which he continues on with 1999 and other things.
And
like
also,
that.
Uptown actually, as I know, because like everybody frames it as just an idealistic place, but actually, Uptown was the actual section where him, Andre Simone, Morris Day, and all these early collaborators did gather. Like, it was like, as a young kid, Prince was always bullied, in high school, for his height, it was like his weirdness, and so like, he's just this guy that's like, he's born in poverty, he's this angry kid, but like, he's just like, music is this escape, and so where does he go to do music? It's in this place with Uptown with all these people, and also it does fit in all these ideas because he's abandoned that, and it is an actual place of people of all colors and differences. And so I feel like that's why it's so genuine, because not only is it this metaphor, Uptown is the actual place that Prince went to for peace of mind, which happened to be a Dirty Mind.
I also think that
Peaceful
on
Dirty
Dirty Mind, one of like his best crescendos and like climax moments is on Got a Broken Heart Again.
Oh yeah.
When, because it's just over 2 minutes long, and it starts and it's a very nice, like very enjoyable,
very Stevie
like,
Wonder.
Exactly. This is self-titled and Dirty Mind are really when I hear him having his Stevie Wonder moments, like, because he's breaking out of the like.
Because For You is basically carbon copy Stevie Wonder album, like, without the personality.
Even Keith Richards once called him out for that tour as just a Stevie Wonder wannabe. But to be fair, I feel like if Keith Richards is talking shit about your music, you're doing something right.
Okay, just complete side note, can we talk about how much of a dick he was when The Verve had that song, their biggest hit, Bittersweet Symphony, and there was the controversy about it, how the orchestra sample that was used, do 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 do, that whole thing, that's actually a string cover of a Rolling Stones song, and so as such, the Rolling Stones sued The Verve and won. And all 100% of the songwriting royalties go to the Rolling Stones.
I don't think it's 100%.
No,
it is a large portion. It's not they didn't
of the songwriting royalties. For performing credit, maybe.
They didn't
but
successfully sue for 100% of the money of a song. They did.
They did. It was a copyright violation. Anywho, but the biggest thing about it, though, is that then they talked about, like, well, aren't you being, like, a little bit, like, hard on them? Like, aren't you, like, can't you just, like, let them have a little bit? And he said, listen, if they write another song as good as that, sure, I'll consider it. Like, I'm like, Keith Richards, you fucking asshole. Like, that's its own.
I mean, dude, he's talked shit about Bowie, Elton John. Oh man, like there's like a list. I just Googled it and somebody compiled like a list of 18 people Keith Richards has talked shit about. And they're like all amazing.
Listen, that is the high standard which we're going to. But jumping back into it there, I think really when you get down to it, when you think about what Dirty Mind accomplishes and what it does, really controversy belongs to number 6. I would maybe go with 1999 here too, but like, I'm kind of like in that. I'm
with you. I like 1999 just a little bit more. Like they're pretty close, but I like 1999 a little bit more than Country.
But I nominated 1999 for number 10,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna say that it should go here at number 6. If it were really that close, because I really enjoy Controversy, and I think that it deserves to be in the top 5.
Because here's the thing, whenever we're considering these albums, we do have to consider that they're albums. As much as we want to be like, oh, well, there's more highlights on this than this, we also have to consider it's an album, and the bad songs are going to weigh it down. And both these albums have bad songs on it. Let's be real.
I just counted. The thing is, like, the amount of songs I like on both albums is pretty equal, but 1999 does have more songs, which I guess means there's more songs I don't like on there.
Yeah.
But
What?
but I'm also more okay with the songs that I don't like on 1999 than I am okay with the songs I don't like on Controversy.
But I just like the songs on Controversy that hit for me hit so much harder. Like, really the only thing on 1999 that I come away wanting to listen to again is Little Red Corvette, and even that I wish that he had produced like the first minute and a half differently. So I really don't connect with that album.
I just think that, man, like, the highs on 1999, Little Red Corvette, DMSR, and Lady Cab Driver are just significantly higher than... Besides, Controversy, I feel like, is the only song on that album... Well,
That
Controversy...
stuns and jacked you off.
Yeah, Jack You Off, and, I do really enjoy Let's Work. But, like, I think those are the only ones that kind of match up. Controversy, the only one that comes as close to having a song as good as 1999 or Red Corvette or DMSR.
Yeah. I think we might, guys, I think we may have run into a legitimate outvoting scenario here, legitimately, to make it. Can we, at the very least, can we all in unison agree that both of these albums should occupy either the number 5 or number 6 slots?
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Sure.
Okay. It's controversial, but I am gonna go ahead and throw my vote here. If you're really determined to have 1999 number 6 and you're okay with having Controversy at number 6, I'm gonna throw my weight behind Jon Harvey and have Controversy at number 6, 1999 at number 5.
I just don't think that's what the consensus said.
I don't know. I mean,
I
made a pretty
if we're
good
doing
case.
Weighted voting, I
mean, if I really wanted to be difficult, I'd say throw the self-titled in there. But
Yeah, that's you being really difficult. Extremely difficult.
I mean, I wouldn't hate that either, but no,
Do you want to talk?
certainly self-titled is not below 1999 for
That
me.
would-
I
yes.
just like 1999 for me is like also below Around the World in a Day and For You. So I'm gonna fight really hard to not have it go any higher than this.
I don't.
This is contentious, you guys.
Don't think that like the strongs on Controversy get as. I mean, even if it's just like 4. I mean, Controversy is only an 8-song album anyway, and like even like 2 of them maybe get as like iconic or. Like, even if you just want to talk, like, even to say they're all the same quality, just the influence and, like, the cultural relevance, if, like, you're adding on, like, these little extra points, like, you've already got the solid grade and you have these extra points, I think little extra things of 1999 carry it further.
Taran,
Fine, whatever.
Alright, in that case, guys, let's go ahead, let's do it right here. Controversy at number 6, 1999 at number 5. But guys, now that we're at this point here, we are down to 4 albums.
Self-titled.
Sure, self-titled.
I mean, we haven't even really talked about it yet,
Yeah.
but
We're
like
spending a lot of time talking about Dirty Mind.
A side of self-titled, Flawless, and then
They, so with the self-titled, some of my things with it, well, I do really enjoy it, and I think, like I said earlier, I'm glad that this one was called Prince.
Yeah.
Because this is when Prince discovers
Really,
Prince.
his
For sure.
identity.
And,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
pretty much the stuff that you will find on here, a lot of these things is still the majority of the qualities that define the rest of his art, his output. The thing is, like, so, like, we were talking about the extended funk jams. Prince has, I'd say that Sexy Dancer is the extended funk jam
Yeah.
of that. But where
It's great.
where I'm not as, where I do really enjoy Sexy Dancer, I find that it's not as complex as some of the other funk jams he's doing, where it's not as layered, like, when, like, it's really just, like, it's a
Where
good
he's
groove,
ahead, yeah.
but, like, when he does, like, the Sexy Dancer, it's that same synth, dun 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 dun, Sexy Dancer, and it repeats that, and then you can time all the was.
Side note, outside of death metal, Prince may be the #1 screaming artist of all time. FYI.
totally.
Oh god.
It was so funny to be listening to Prince like out loud at work this week because it'd be very chill. We're like
groovy,
helping
very
people
funky.
on the phones, and then suddenly he's screaming, and you're like, "I'm sorry, can you repeat that, ma'am? One moment."
I can't hear you over this man having an orgasm on stage. Hold on 1 second. I have to take care of this.
I was there's like a list. I found these lists of the top 30 Prince screams. I thought they fucked up. Their list was terrible. But there was a
But just the fact that it existed.
yeah, just like I needed that list to exist.
So,
But yeah, like I mean, it's got Bambi. God, fucking you.
I love Bambi.
I just
It gets really grating though.
no.
damn.
No, it's fucking great all the way through. Here's the thing. Here's the
I
thing.
just no. I mean like on repeat listens.
Oh!
I
Yeah.
really enjoyed Bambi,
Yeah.
and now I've listened to it
It's a Hendrix
too many
moment.
times,
Yeah.
and which is already
But
only
man,
like
dude,
5 times. and I
that
just-
solo. That solo on Bambi is
It's
just
so
one of the
fucking
one of
good.
the best Prince ones.
And here's the thing. The part of the reason why I was so insistent about like Prince in the 80s being 1978 to 1990 is because I wanted to include this album so fucking hard. Because listen, I'm not gonna be the guy that sits here and says "Still Waiting" is great. Because guess what, guys? I don't even fucking remember how it is.
That's one of the ones I'm more okay with.
I Feel For You is fine, but let's be real.
Oh yeah, speaking of hokey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also,
I'm learning. It's very interesting to me. Jon Harvey is totally okay with hokey Prince.
Dude, well, I mean, you should
in a way
see,
that I am not.
You
at
should
all.
see what hokey shit I'll excuse from Nilsson. Like,
Oh, I'm sure.
yeah,
I
you
can
know.
only imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, God, we've been singing about love songs for fucking a millennia now. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, like, how many,
I know,
anything.
and then he tries to be subversive. Good old Desk. Oh, it smells God. You see what he's doing, guys? Like, okay, that's not really that. Let's be real. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
The thing, and I'm not gonna. I Feel For You. I think it's a fine song. I genuinely, and I mean this truly, the Shaka Khan cover is way better.
Yeah.
But I like Shaka Khan. Everybody.
I'm
Shaka
just
Khan.
not as into. I think it kind of. I like the album. I do think it kind of dips at When We're Dancing and With You a little bit. I don't think are the
When We're
best
Dancing
ballads.
Close and Slow is great. That is
I
a
don't think that-
beautiful fucking ballad.
I think When We're Dancing Close and Slow is like right on point.
Yes.
That is like if you like good, like sweet 70s ballads, that is a great song.
Yes, 100%.
Because it's not very Prince.
No.
I'll give you that, but I think that it's a very well executed song.
The other thing I will say, though, and I mean this truly, is that those first 2 songs, I Want to Be Your Lover, and also Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad, are some of my all-time favorite Prince songs.
The way that Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad closes out is just one of the best exits of any Prince song. That when it does, he's doing that 4-note solo,
Yeah.
and then just like right before the fade out, he brings it up to the high. Like,
Yeah,
it's
exactly, I know.
Oh yeah,
It's so
Wanna treat me so bad,
like
cause I love you. Pew! Like, there's just so much
it's-
light
yeah,
in this.
yeah. No, that's
It's
a really
like-
fucking great song.
like it's funny like. It's weird, like, it's kind of funny because when you do see, like, the videos of him dancing to it, like, the way that he's dancing on video is probably exactly what you're doing in your head, where it's, like, one hand up and, like...
Yeah, exactly. But, like, yeah, and the thing is that you have that Bambi, especially after something as boring as With You. I mean, I still love it, Dancing Slow, Slow.
absolutely.
Bambi just explodes off that B-side. Boom, chicka, boom, like this. And the thing is, while he did try rock with, For You a little bit, this year it explodes. Like, this is him, like, guess what, guys? I'm fucking rock. And here, the big thing about it, especially, too, like, as much as we're talking about this being a good album, culturally, he was an R&B artist beforehand. And what R&B artist fucking breaks out a Hendrix-style 60s rock number?
Yeah, that's
No one
always
does.
that's what even I mean he did that a bit on For You, even just the guitar solos in those R&B songs. It really like when you're sitting there listening to a perfectly enjoyable R&B track and then a fucking amazing guitar solo comes in and you're like, "Oh."
I mean, even, like, in a song on, like, Lady Cab Driver, like,
Yeah.
all of a sudden it's, like, it's doing, like, the instrumental kind of breakdown, and it's, like, there's, like, the bump, bump, wow. And then all of a sudden, like full force distortion, like this fucking Adrian Belew Talking Head solo, where it's just him like shredding the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
After what's one of his like most like just like actual funk, like old school funk numbers, follows up with the most new wavy solo.
Right, but the other thing about that too is that like at the time he distinguished himself as not just being an R&B artist. He's like, I also do rock, and because he does rock, that led to him kind of being like white audiences being like, hey, there might be something to this guy, and that's kind of helped what made him the breakthrough that he was.
And he's like, I'm not just an R&B guy, I'm a pop guy. Put me on the pop sales, and he had to fight really hard to get on the pop section, and it worked. Like I think it ended up like getting up to like 60 on the Billboard Pop, and then like it was 6 on R&B.
Yeah, like I mean, and because again, like Soft and Wet was a small hit, like it was a minor hit enough for Warner Brothers to be like maybe, and that's why with Prince, because he went over budget on the first album, he had to go a little bit lesser budget on this one. He just went out for it, and again, I Want to Be Your Lover was a hit, like a legitimate actual hit. I think if I'm not mistaken, bigger than anything off of Dirty Mind specifically, except maybe When You Were Mine. But yeah, it is just it's a great album. The B-side is kind of weak, it's kind of all over the place. That A-side,
oh man,
is killer.
I gotta say, just like across the board, the songs by Prince, with a few notable exceptions, the songs by Prince that were hits don't make sense to me. Like, for the
That
most
Dance.
part, when I look at the single that did most well, as opposed to like the song that I enjoy the most on an album, it never lines up.
Yeah.
It's
Except
just
Baby Kiss.
Definitely.
except
Yeah. But like, yeah, so listen, I'm okay with it. The fact that it is rubbing shoulders with Dirty Mind, Purple Rain, and Sign of the Times is okay with me. Self-titled at number 4. Let's lock it in. But now the shit gets real.
Fucking.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it.
Yep.
I really like Dirty Mind. I can listen to it from start to finish, but I think it needs to go at number 3.
I'm with you. I gotta be honest, I'm with you. Like, listen, Dirty Mind is fantastic. Because here's the thing. Again, when we talk about Do It All Night, when we talk about, even kind of the, early Blondie funk of When You Were Mine, which, by the way, Cyndi Lauper covered on her massive hit album, She's So Unusual, the same with Girls That Want to Have Fun on it.
Just because, like, it may end up going down at 3. I just, like, I want to quote...
Jon Harvey's gonna take a stand on the hill.
Well, no. I first want to talk some more about Dirty Mind
Jon Harvey referendum.
Because I want to quote JC, our former guest for the Beck episode.
John C. Shikoda from the Beck episode.
He made an excellent point. What I love one of the things I love most about Dirty Mind is that I feel like it's the last time that Prince was like just having fun with it and wasn't taking himself as seriously as he did. Like songs like Head is like tied for one of my favorite Prince songs.
Yeah.
Like I fucking love Head is just an amazing song, and it's just this idea that he's like kind of trolling audiences. Like, oh, you think it's weird that like I'm in my underwear even though Parliament Funkadelic did it?
Yeah.
Like we're doing that. Like sure, like I'll lead people to believe like this is what I'm about, that I do maybe want to have sex with my sister, because like the fans will get it. The fans will be like, oh Prince, man, that's great. Like you're trolling it. But like his knowing that like. Because he wasn't like on top of the world, he wasn't like the public eye wasn't like saying what's up with this Prince guy. So let's go make this song about Head, and then all of a sudden everybody's like, what the fuck is up with this guy? And so like with the response being controversy, like I just love the idea that this bedroom pop album. I mean that's just like it's almost inspirational like on this indie level, because like there's like it sounds like something, it entirely relies on its own songwriting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's almost like you want to give himself that challenge too, where like clearly, just on the debut alone, he proved he is a master at the studio.
Mm-hmm.
He can make the slickest pop possible, but he's like, I want to make the best songs possible, which he started doing on Self-Titled, but he really pushed through hard.
And I don't know about you guys, there's not a song I don't love on that album.
There's songs that I don't love, but I would say there's no songs
there are no songs that I even like, that even I would say don't do it for me.
Yeah.
there are songs that I don't
They
love,
don't do it all night.
but they're like I said, I'm always like,
But
there's nothing that I want to skip.
But
I want to listen to this album from start to finish.
Do It All Night does have like one of the best fucking bass lines right before that
But also, can we talk about the actual song "Dirty Mind" itself? That kind of like really basic synth. like it just kind of builds you into this. 'Cause I gotta do the man.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a very simple groove.
One of my favorite, and I don't think it really counts as a shout, but I just love it where he's like, I just wanna lay ya, I just wanna lay ya.
Like it's weird because like it's kind of crude, but not really. Like the idea of Dirty Mind, like it's intriguing, and although the ideas, especially on Head and Sister, are shocking for a lot of audiences, like he plays it so straight down the middle. Like it's just, you almost believe him on these things, and clearly he's not having sex with his sister, with his many sisters. It's just like he's got you.
I mean, also I think just like with like Head, I think the idea of like him, like it's not like he's like just stealing the girl and running off. It's like no, he steals your girl. And because he's a good person and devoted God, he marries your girl, and then they dedicate their life together of blowing each other. Like he's
also, did you know that on their wedding day, married women will do just about anything to you? Do you realize that? That's what that song taught me.
And personally, and I know because I know it's not gonna go anywhere. My third would be Purple Rain.
Wow! Jon Harvey just said his favorite Prince album is not Purple Rain. I'm not saying that's necessarily a wrong opinion. That's just
because I know I'm not gonna win. It's not really worth debating because 3 is still a totally perfect place for Dirty Mind.
Prince got all the way up to number 4.
But now I think you know what my number 1 pick is.
Well, okay, so first, before anything else, can we lock in Dirty Mind at number 3?
Yes.
That's pretty easy. Okay, guys, listen. I am telling you right now, I am exhausted. It's like the conversation we've had debating number 1 and number 2 takes place in the future, but it is just so much energy has been put into it, it is reverberating backwards through time, and it's affecting me right now. Because, guys, we're down to Purple Rain and Sign of the Times. And let me tell you something. Before we record, and listen, I know they're kind of the big, critics point to them as like, they're really great, but here's the fucking thing. They are. And before this podcast, before we even hit Research Week, if you asked me favorite Prince album, it wouldn't even been a question. Purple Rain. Duh, Purple Rain. Purple Rain is basically, and I would argue Computer Blue, but really, for the most part, a flawless, and I never say this with the level of intention, I mean it right now, a flawless pop album. That is such a rare thing to encounter. It's like seeing a bewildebeest with 2 backs hump a goat. Like, it is so out there and so
I'm
weird.
sorry? Anyway,
I got lost in all these.
There were so many images.
Too many.
It
wasn't coherent.
It wasn't no animal strike curious poses. That's for sure.
Jon Harvey for the win, guys. But here's the thing, before we need to talk about Purple Rain, how it ties into the film, and all these other things. And listen. The sprawl of Sign of the Times, it is all over the place. I can say pretty definitively that I don't love every song on here. However, it is stunning. Literally, it's a double album. I would compare it to the White Album in terms of double albums.
What it accomplishes across those 60 tracks.
It has the highest production he's ever done, some of the most basement lo-fi production he's ever done.
Well, and I think it also really, it benefits from being the culmination of what I think is like 3 different scrapped albums.
And it's also...
And he pulled like the best things from each.
And it's also... Also on top of just the culmination of that time. It's like almost like the end of an era on that point. Like almost everything to me kind of culminates at Sign of the Times. And I also I was saying like how I felt like Dirty Mind was like the last time he stopped taking like things super seriously. And what I find interesting is that Sign of the Times was really like maybe the last time he ever got close to that thing where it's really just about the music. It's like while the Sign of the Times does have a message, it's not like as preachy as Something as America. It's just like it is more on the genuine end of how Prince is feeling about his community, because Prince has always been about the community.
I think that's pretty accurate. That for me, Sign of the Times, even though I'm just gonna spoil it and say it's not my favorite Prince record, it is the moment where he, from start to finish, feels the most genuine. You really feel like you're getting unfiltered Prince and not the stage persona Prince.
And if you believe stories at the time, well, previously, Prince would frustrate engineers because he would record a take and he'd immediately want to go on to the next instrument, record the next thing. But he was frustrated before because with analog take systems, they had to go ahead and rewind the tape to the right place, and it would sometimes take several minutes. And that frustrated him so bad, and because he's such a perfectionist, and he's such a this is what I need to do kind of guy. Like early on, that's what Prince was. When you hear about the stories that went into the making of Sign of the Times, it's so different. At one point, he was recording a song, and there was an engineer there, like in his home studio, and like there was a lightning storm, power went out, and all of a sudden, like everything went boom. And you listen back to the tape, and it kind of had that same thing of just his voice going, ah! Except it just went, like, it slowed down. And while Prince of the previous would have been upset by that, the Prince at the time was like, yeah, that's kind of good.
This is the same. If this is the same story, I believe that's for the Ballad of Dorothy Parker, which he said he was sleeping through a thunderstorm and dreamed up a Ballad of Dorothy Parker while the guy was repairing and trying to reboot the studio, and Prince is like, nah, let's just do it. So it had this weird quality, and he's like, well, it came from a dream. I wrote it in a dream, and it's kind of sounds like a dream, so I'm okay with that. Yeah. Which, by the way, Ballad of Dorothy Parker, I will say, single-handedly, the best thing ever programmed on a Lindrum.
Yeah, well,
that is some of the most interesting electronic drumming I think I've ever heard.
To the extent that I didn't even realize it was.
I would agree with that.
That song sounds, and I think partially because it has that odd effect on it, but it sounds removed from this era for me. Mm-hmm. Like the Ballad of Dorothy Parker could be released by some like indie artist today, and I would still totally believe that it had just been recorded. Like it really, the Ballad of Dorothy Parker like just nails right on the head that sort of emotional like indie rock like sensation.
Yeah. Like other artists have based their careers off of hearing that fucking song.
Totally.
Like just the way all the structural elements of it, like the way like that synthesizer, like I mean obviously because there's an obvious influence, kind of like reminds you like that like kind of Mac DeMarco-y kind of like synth, like it falls in there like with all these people bringing out the DXs, that like that drum pattern is like very similar to what we've got going, like the kind of stuff that we program today.
Sure.
But it's weird though because after breaking so many controversies and pushing so many rules, this is also emotionally such a different side of Prince that we get. Because listen, it's kind of controversial, the song "If I Was Your Girlfriend," when he does the sped up Camille voice there.
I
love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
That was one where the first time I heard it, I was like, it's a gimmick. But then no, really listen to that track.
It is a brutal song,
phenomenal.
and he builds up the paranoia on that end so well. Before like it's just the voice getting higher, you hear that little UFO synth going up there, and then it just cuts out and it's just nothing but drums after. Like there's this dramatic catharsis that's just like, oh fuck, like something happened.
No, and I was with you because at point it seemed like you got like when I first hear it, you kind of laugh it off as like these like kind of like funny like weird Prince things like where he gets like really sexual like you got some like back to like that International Lover thing where he's like welcome to Prince Air or whatever it is, and you kind of. And like and so like you're kind of like so at first it seems like that, but like it's like because it has that genuine end. It's not like he's trying to like it's not like he's trying to make something for the public. It's like feels like more like his response and his feminine side of his own relationships.
Yeah, and it's not like he didn't name her Camille to be funny. He named her Camille because he really felt like this was a genuine like part of his artistic self that he needed to express. And he like this persona was important enough to him that he gave it a name.
Yeah. And
so when you look at it through that lens, I think If I Was Your Girlfriend, like really, I don't know, that's a huge highlight on this album for me for sure.
And just a quick side note jumping off of that. I feel like when we talk about icons of the 80s, you talk about the big three of pop. You talk about Madonna, you talk about Michael, you talk about Prince. Like, that's kind of the conversation that you have. And the thing is that my genuine feeling is that Michael Jackson had eccentricities that he wasn't able to always channel. Like, he had his albums there, he was a perfectionist, but there was always that part where just stuff just kind of bled out in different directions.
Static energy.
Exactly. Yeah. Prince all of his weirdness and all of his whatever, he always pushed out into something, into these female voices, into these multiple female groups and albums that he produced, of these other guys' albums he produced.
Yeah.
Like, he always expressed whatever those things were in all these different ways. So, like, in many ways, that's kind of why even though his quality control is still all over the goddamn place, he was able to kind of, like, be up there with Michael, because he was, like, channeling everything in these different
He
weird
was so
ways.
prolific.
I gotta ask you guys, because I've heard this one is like more mixed than I expected to be. Side 1 or side 2?
I've never thought about it
Sign
in
of
those
the Times?
terms.
Yeah.
Oh
What do
my
you
God.
because
You
I
mean-
think
you
side
mean disc 1 or
or
disc 2?
disc 1 or
Yeah.
disc 1, because I
It's a
think
four-side album,
I
yeah.
think
Where's
side I
the
think
split.
Isn't it?
it starts at You Got the Look.
Yeah.
I think that disc 2 is the best stretch of songs. The greatest, most consistent stretch of songs he's done. But I've heard people also go for the 1. Oh yeah, I think It's Gonna Be a Beautiful Night and To Adore is the best 1-2 he's ever fucking done.
That's a really good one. But also, the other thing you're forgetting about, even though I'm not in love with the religious lyrics, the cross. The cross.
That's
Yeah,
a
but-
phenomenal track.
I mean, the thing is, the build on that is amazing, but the mixing on that is so crazy, because it's such a clear left-right thing. Like, he's just playing, he's not mixing like stereo almost at all on that. Like, it is purely, here's a guitar on one end, here's the acoustic on the other, here's the drums on one end, here's the tabla on the other. Like, it's just like this mix, but like...
I think I mentioned this in the Beatles cast too, but that's something that they did on their song Lady Madonna. They did the bass and the guitar in one channel, and then they did the piano and saxophone in the other channel, and they're all doing the same like walk-up riff, but if you only have one headphone in, like, if it's guitar and bass, it sounds really gritty, but if you have the other one, it's piano and saxophone, and it sounds like almost like Baroque pop.
Yeah.
And so when you put them together, it's this very, like, interesting textural thing, especially coming from two different sides. And I feel like, he did a similar thing on The Cross.
Yeah.
Is that he took the grit and the rock and put it in one channel, and then he put, like, the like, almost more public, what's the word I'm looking for?
Like, accessible world?
Yeah,
like,
the more accessible
And
sounds
you
on the
c-
other side.
And you can fight me on this.
All right.
It's Gonna Be a Beautiful Night is the best extended Prince jam out there, funk jam, in the catalog.
You might be fought on that.
Yeah,
I
think, I mean, maybe I haven't had enough time with it, but there's just so many more that grab me immediately.
Okay, so here's the other thing too, is that, I mean, I 100%, again, before this week, I could go either way on one of these being number one, so I'm really, really relying on you guys to convince me.
So do you want to go
but,
for it?
I'm not even talking about that yet, but here's the one thing I do want to say. The weird thing for me about Sign of the Times, normally this wouldn't be me, but the really overt pop moments for me, which normally would be my jam, don't work for me. And specifically, I'm talking about Play in the Sunshine and I Could Never Take the Place of Your Man. Those are fine songs.
I totally
They
agree.
don't work for me in this context.
Well, and especially because I think part of it is because we're putting them up against these things. They're not pop songs in the classic sense, but they're, like, when you look at Forever in My Life or Starfish and Coffee or Ballad of Dorothy Parker, these are much more subdued tracks that are really just, they hit right in the emotional center of what they're going for. So when you have, like, sort of more bland, what you know from Prince pop moments, or like these funk numbers, I think that they maybe aren't as enjoyable to me as they could have been in a different context, because they're up against this other side of him that doesn't show up as often.
The only one I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just not as into is It and Forever.
I can kind of see that on that one there. Forever in My Life, I fucking love. That was a
Forever
masterpiece
in My
for me.
Life is a gorgeous track, and it for me it kind of follows, like I said, not as much with Starfish and Coffee, but with Ballad and Dorothy Parker. These are very stripped down productions, and it's just about, like, the great song that he wrote, and he just gives it, like, maybe a couple synths and some drums, and he just lets it, like, communicate on that level.
Also, if you're not sold on Starfish and Coffee, I highly recommend that you dig up the tape of the Muppets Tonight episode where Prince guested on,
And
where he
performs it with
performs
Muppets.
it.
But also,
oh my god.
And also, but, like, I think Adore probably my favorite Prince song.
You have mentioned that to me
Adore,
before.
I think, is just one of the most fucking genius thing he's ever done. I think just the way it all the layers of it, and especially like the slight changes that when it starts off like as like a pretty basic piano love ballad up until like it brings in this funk moment, and he starts like kind of like doing like his like kind of talking down kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, but here's the other thing though. Slow Love, like
Slow
it
Love
plays into his like that Loverman persona, but God, it plays into it so well.
It's just
good.
that is a great sex groove.
I think both of those. That's why I think that those two, like two of his strongest ballads, are on.
Also, the Neptunes and Pharrell Williams would not have a career had Housequake not happened. Let's be real. This was fucking 1987, and he did that percussion-y hip-hop thing like almost before anyone else. Boom, 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 and then you have the horns and all the other shit on there. But also, like, this week, the big thing about this week, because I've always liked Sign of the Times, but for whatever reason, I don't know what elements were going on, but Strange Relationship with that bouncy, kind of boppy little beat, like that connected with me. I don't know why. I never had before, and I don't even necessarily think it's the greatest song he ever did. The only hot take I'm gonna really provide for Sign of the Times, and this is a hot take, and it's rough running into it with Play in the Sunshine. I would argue this album opens with its weakest song.
Really? You think Sign of the Times is the weakest?
It's like
track
that
on
Play in
here?
the Sunshine
For me, no. I think it's it depends on the mood.
It's like Janet level, like broad spectrum social issueness.
I think it's also because I've listened to certain live versions of Sign of the Times a lot, whereas like I think like that song surprisingly you'd think it'd be opposite, but that song like kills live. There's a lot more elements to it, but no, I mean Play in the Sunshine or It I think are definitely the weaker ones on there.
I would agree with that. And I just yes, this album is incredible. But I think that on the other hand, have we talked about this enough?
Your face is
because
jamming.
for me, Purple
Your
Rain
body's hecka
has
sad.
like 5 of the 10 best songs he's ever written.
Oh,
And so I just
Rain.
I hadn't heard of Sign of the Times really before we did Research Week, and it jumped up for me. Like, obviously, I think we're all in agreement. This is an incredible album, but Purple Rain, and this is coming from someone who listened to Purple Rain like 3 years ago and didn't really like it that much. Now, obviously, I love it, but I would say that side B of Purple Rain is
His greatest run.
Yeah, no.
perfect. It's not even his greatest run. It is like the best side of an album that's ever been released.
That is a bold statement.
I do obviously, of course, love Purple Rain, but the thing is, it does have a song that I fucking hate.
What are you gonna say?
Darling Nikki is stupid. No! Darling Nikki is so
If you said Computer
stupid.
Blue, I would maybe be
so
with you.
dumb. It can go fucking chill with all those lame ass stripper jams. It can go hang out with Pour Some Sugar on Me.
Wow.
Oh my god! I feel
did not
I
see
feel weird.
this coming.
I feel weird saying
At
that.
all.
I like the second half of it, but I think that opening melody, and then like also that vocal melody, like what is that? What is Nikki was? Guess you could say she was a sex fiend.
Till I'll be masturbating with the magazine.
It's just this is another moment for me where I really hear the Bowie. I think that this is a melody that David Bowie might have written like in his
Weird, that
Ziggy
works.
Stardust days. And so I think
Weird.
this is. It's,
I mean, I
it's
don't
like
Prince didn't like being influenced by things. He found himself the most
well,
influential artist.
yeah,
but
he was very clearly influenced by at least a couple people here. Stevie Wonder, Bowie.
yeah.
But I really think that's if you look at this album through a glam rock lens, it's like it explains any like weird questions you might have about it.
Okay, but while we're in it, while we're talking about it, here's the thing, like, I enjoy Let's Go Crazy. I enjoy Baby I'm a Star, but motherfucker, if you break out Take Me With You, or you break out I Would Die For You at any time in my life, I will sing the fuck along to those, because those
I Would Die For
are
You
flawless.
I think you could argue is the best song he ever wrote.
It's like so concise, so it's almost like techno, like early techno. Like,
Baby I'm a Star, I think is actually one of like the top 3 of there for me. I'd have to go like Let's Go, Baby I'm a Star. Fuck, it's so hard to rank. Even just the album.
The songs on this album.
I Would Die For You and When Doves Cry.
Yeah. Side note, Purple Rain, he saw, I believe it was Bob Seger on tour, Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, and he's like, I want to write a song like that. That's how Purple Rain came about. Which is fascinating. Also in the movie, Wendy and Lisa are the people that wrote Purple Rain, but in fact, they actually helped co-write Computer Blue on this album. That was their big contribution to it. He wrote Purple Rain.
I find really funny about, just side note on Purple Rain movie, is that like, I love how like, his like character redemption in terms of like there's not much story to Purple Rain, but like what little story there is, like his character arc is like to complete himself is like letting somebody else write a song for him, and that's like not even the case in real life.
I know.
I did kind of love that. That's like the background he gave it though in the film is like this man who I never had any kind of positive relationship is now gone, except that he was still very important to me. So here's a song written by someone else, so I can cry about it and not ruin any of my songs.
And the other thing about it, though...
and I was like, okay, no, that fits your character.
The plot of this movie, man, the kid, like, talking about the kid, like, he's not packing him in like he used to, despite the fact that it's a full house standing room only audience that's dancing along to every single one of his songs, and by the end of it, he's also performing to standing house room only, people dancing on every one of his songs. Like, they say he's not famous, he's clearly famous, and at the end of the movie, he's the exact same level of fame that he was. Like, it's just, it's amazing, the plot.
That's pretty true.
Also beating women, there's a lot of that.
But I mean, like, then you got, man, like, When Doves Cry, made, like, one of the greatest songs of the whole 80s.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. What I wouldn't give, I wanna, and I'm telling you this on the podcast right now. I probably should. I want to murder Questlove, and here's the reason why. Because he has one of the biggest archives of rare print shit over there. What I wouldn't give, just out of pure curiosity, to hear the bass line that he deleted off of that. Because, like, he initially had to, I mean, it was like a last-minute decision of just, I don't like that bass line. I'm like, you can't do that, it's the 80s. But
yeah, the radio was like, where's the bass?
But the other thing is that it sounded like nothing else.
And I also love that because there's no bass line in When Doves Cry, the lowest note that you hear is his bass harmony on the vocals. When he's like,
dig if you will, a picture.
Right, when you dig if you will, a picture.
Also,
and I almost feel like he could have, like, if he'd had more time with it, he could have just mixed those vocals into the bass frequencies.
Yeah.
What's fascinating is, in terms of, like, his music, I think he may have revealed a little bit more in certain interviews, but that is maybe his most revealing song he's ever wrote, like, the most open that he's ever been about himself on record. Mm-hmm. Like, everything else is about this, like, idea of, like, creating, like, the character Prince, or, like, are these, like, different versions of him depending on what the album is. But, like, When Doves Cry, like, how could you just leave me standing alone in a world so cold? Like, maybe I'm just like my mother, she's never satisfied.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's like the most on record that he's just been there, that he's, like, revealed himself.
But can we also talk about one other thing? And it's only in Research Week did this happen, but on this album, Prince pulls off a magic trick that I can't believe it. It perplexes me to all time. But Jon Harvey, I'm going to ask you this, bold-faced, I'm not joking, I'm being dead serious here. What's Purple Rain about? The song?
Oh, nothing at all.
What's the chorus of the song? Purple rain, and she's dancing in the purple rain? What the fuck are you talking about? What?
Right.
It's colorful precipitation.
I've heard the argument, or at least from like Wendy or Lisa, or like I don't know, it's an argument, the declaration that, oh, it's like an idea, it's a concept, it's like the regalness of like purple and like the redemption of rain, and I'm like, that's cool, but what is that?
Really?
Wow.
I don't want to be your weekend lover. Like, okay, like,
right, but like
Purple Rain.
and even like the lyrics of the various verses don't really relate to each other
it
at all.
is. It is a song that is about nothing, and it feels like
so,
everything.
It's so spiritual, and it's very Stevie Nicks in that way. Is that it's just like a string of really pretty words, and they're delivered with such pathos
Emotion and power
power that it doesn't really matter what he's singing about, because you feel the emotions that he's trying to send to you. So it doesn't matter what the words are.
It is a pure magic trick, and only recently did I realize that song is actually about nothing, and yet you feel
don't care.
every feeling.
And I love it, and I want to listen to every second of it.
I know! It's the craziest goddamn thing. Yeah. I Would Die For You is amazing. And also the screaming at the end of Beautiful Ones. Can we talk about
Totally saves that song.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree, because it's kind of a kind of intro, but then
kind of like
and especially in the film, once you see that moment, do you want him? Do you want me? And then him just staring at Apollonia, 'cause I want you, and it's just like that power and that passion, and then the screaming, that like it is. Oh my god. Every emotion in the world you feel in that moment.
Yeah.
It is passion and lust and desire wrapped into a perfectly executed moment.
And so that's the thing. I think that's what gives Purple Rain that little bit of an edge on Sign of the Times for me, is that Sign of the Times, while it has like great evocative moments, it never has like the power in his vocal delivery like he does on so many moments in Purple Rain.
I mean, so you're saying you haven't listened to Adore, is what you're...
That is not what I'm saying. I have listened to Adore.
But the psychodrama, I mean, well, they're both, I mean, weirdly enough, these are unlike the rest of his albums, and I think I can say this pretty successfully. Yeah, I think I can. Both of these albums are psychodramas in their own way. They are very much, they talk about the darker ends of relationship, because when Prince gets really dark, he gets really interesting, too. And, like, there's moments on here, like, I mean, I think about, when you think about the weird pathos, the weird familial pathos of When Doves Cry, versus even, again, If I Was Your Girlfriend on Sign of the Times, by the way, covered by TLC off of their hit Chasing Waterfalls album, Crazy Sexy Cool. Like, it's crazy. It's bizarre. It's a strange relationship. Oh, my God. Okay, guys, we need to do something about it. Jon Harvey, you're pretty dead set on Sign of the Times being #1.
I mean, I guess for the sake of drama, I am. But truth be told, like, they're both just so fucking good. And it's like, in terms of, like, do I find Sign of Times to be a little bit more personal? I mean, like, it's a little bit more, it's got a little bit more elements that I'm into. I think it's, like, some more, like, kind of out there type of songwriting. I mean, the thing is, Purple Rain does just have an entire decade's worth of culture added to it, so it's like there's certain aspects
biases
of it.
that kind
there's there's certain things that like I feel like by choosing one over the other, I'm discrediting it. I'm discrediting the other by picking it.
You're not. This is so arbitrary. I mean,
it is. Let's be real.
I will not be upset by this decision either way. Not like fucking 1999, but
right.
I mean, you know what my vote is, but like I really would be fine with either of these albums being #1 because they're both that good.
And here's the thing, and I mean this truly. Going into this podcast, Purple Rain was just my automatic thing. This week, Sign of the Times showed me sides of it that it hasn't had before. And I always loved albums that show you different aspects of themselves over time. Like The Avalanche's Since I Left You is an album where, even to this day, I've listened to that album 100 times easy, and I listen to it and I'm like, I've never heard that element before. Like, there's just these parts of it here. And I'm not necessarily saying that intricate production is the selling point on here, because I still hear, like, the little, like, my favorite moment on Purple Rain is during, not the string section samples on Take Me With You, that do-do-do-do-do-do. It's when he gets to that last part, and it's kind of like that bell sound kind of reverse that kind of goes in and out of the left and right speakers near the end, kind of this dreamy little, like...
Again, with Take Me With You, I want it to be one of my favorite Prince songs, and it gets cheapened by the bad female vocal again.
Never does.
And
I would love it.
And
to death.
I know, and I wish it didn't. I really wish it didn't, but it just does, and also it's definitely not string samples. He got real strings. From
I mean, shit. Yeah, but like the way it's structured, like it's like it just feels like a smash cut, almost like this. Like it just appears, like I don't know. Yeah, so fascinating. And then the strings, the rising action on the second verse, and all the other stuff like that. And weirdly enough, and here's the thing: you say that about Apollonia, and I heard that they worked with her hard to get those takes the way that they are. There's something so everyman about her vocal takes that are they're not great. They're not powerhouse. They're not like doing lots of runs. They're
I just don't know why they tried to have her do a high note.
Yeah.
Just have Prince sing the high note if she doesn't have the vocals for it. Because her vocals on the verse for the most part are inoffensive. Mm-hmm. And then she tries to get up there, and it's just so screamy.
But here's the thing, guys. We've talked about these things. We're over an hour into part 2 of this podcast.
All right.
Here's the thing. I'm the biggest factor of it. I love these albums dearly. You should get them both if you don't have them already. All I'm doing is thinking about how I don't like Computer Blue as much, but that doesn't necessarily weigh down the fact that it's even Hot Thing, arguably, and Play in the Sunshine are the parts that kind of weigh down Sign of the Times. I love these albums both, but we need to call it, guys, Sign of the Times, number 2, and Purple Rain is number 1, kind of expected and kind of regularly, but guys...
I don't know, man. I'm just like... I'm just saying... The thing is, like, with side 1 of Purple Rain, besides, like, Let's Go Crazy, I'm just not as enthusiastic about it, and I just feel like there's, like, a larger concentrated chunk of things until it gets to, like, the perfect second half. Whereas, I'm not sure if this necessarily makes Sign of the Times better, but at least because of how different it is, like, you don't have to go as long before you find, like, another brilliant track.
Okay, I guess I understand that argument, but it also, for Sign of the Times, I think because it's longer, there's just more
Purple Rain is 9 songs. It gets in, it fucks off, and leaves you with
for Sign of the Times, there's just a lot more things that I kind of want to skip.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Playing the Sunshine, I don't think it's going to make anyone's ever top 10 playlist of Prince songs. And someone could make a rational argument of 9 of Purple Rain's 9 songs being in a top 10. I don't agree with that argument. I'm just saying that argument can be made.
I mean, but the thing is, my love of both albums mainly comes from the second half of both. Mm-hmm. And I guess, like, if you... Like, I enjoy listening to Sign of... I know that
Adore is your favorite song of all time, but I will also argue that Prince will never write a more perfect song than I Would Die For You. And that is literally end to end. It's bizarre, kind of like, I'm not a woman, I'm not a man, I'm something that you'll never understand. How is that not like embellic of Prince to the T, to the unpronounceable symbol, you know?
Sure, let's do it.
And listen, guys, as you can tell, we've all given up stuff to make it to where we are, but let's go ahead and nail it. Number 6, Controversy. Number 5, 1999. Number 4, I Can't Believe It, self-titled, Prince. Number 3, Dirty Mind. Number 2, Sign of the Times. Number 1, Purple Rain. But guys, as you can clearly tell, there's so much more to get through on our season finale. We got a happy hour mini-show that will change your life. Strap in, get ready. In the meantime, thank you for listening. Thank everyone for being here. I can't believe we did this. Leave a comment on Facebook. I know you are gonna be on there. You have something to say. Rate us on iTunes. We're amazing, or at least kinda, sorta. You should probably give us at least 2 stars. That's at least what we would give Parade.
Please don't give us a 2-star review.
Give us a 4, maybe. You heard how good this conversation was. But guys, in the meantime, thank you so much. We think that you are all individual listeners, the most beautiful girls or guys in the world. Truly, we mean that. Thank you so much for listening. Keep on listening. You know that we'll be. Goodbye.